Hey everybody, it's Andrew here for Media World. Hope you like the new intro. I'd like to say Happy Easter. I'm currently on my second week at the moment. I've been quite enjoying it, apart from this bad weather. It is currently raining outside, which absolutely sucks. And what do you do on a rainy day? I like to watch movies myself. I picked up a rental copy, and I have a question for everyone. Who wants to watch Twilight?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Take that as a no then. Okay, fuck it, I'll go and watch one myself.
I, Edward Cullen, take you, Bella Swan.
For better or for worse, as long as we both shall live.
You are a fucking piece of shit!
Fuck this shit, I'm watching something else.
Now this is a story all about how
This is how I'll remember you. Pink cheeks, heartbeat. Think I'd be used to telling you goodbye by now.
boring.
I'm going to be reviewing Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Ranting also. I'm going to be mentioning the storyline, the characters, the genre, and anything else I think that's important to mention when talking about this piece of crap. So the storyline is about a teen girl called Bella who falls in love with a vampire called Edward, and he asks her to marry him. Even though she went out with a werewolf because Edward left her, and then he realised, oh, I still love her, and then Bella dumped the werewolf for him, but at the same time still having feelings for the werewolf, which is basically the entire fucking series and a whole chestnut, this entire back and forth bullshit and a love triangle, which is basically, it's her fault in the fucking first place. Which throughout all these movies have to go against other vampires, super vampires, werewolves, which brings us to the ultimate climax of her getting pregnant. The werewolves feel threatened by this because she's carrying an abomination. Yeah, their love child is probably something along those lines. And Edward has to make a life-threatening decision. I mean, fucking hell, who writes this shit? Seriously, the plot is so unbelievably stupid. Who is willing to go and pay money? No, fuck that. Who is willing to go and watch this movie voluntarily? The script is poor, the acting is worse than the script, and the fact that pisses me off the most about this thing is about how werewolves just puff into a werewolf. I mean, movies like American Werewolf in London, I would imagine it'd be a bit more like that, you know, more of a painful process, you know. I'd imagine changing your entire body structure, you know, actually forming into a werewolf would be quite painful, I would imagine. So, but no, just like that, and you're a werewolf. So that's the world of Twilight for you. They even mess up werewolf movies than vampire movies as well. The fight scenes are horribly bad. I mean, would you rather have this fight scene? Or this?
You kill her, you kill me.
If you pick Blade 2, you have good taste. But if you pick Twilight,
I will find you, and I will kill you.
oh my god, the characters. Okay, the only good character in this entire series of fucking movies is the only likeable, well-acted character is probably Bella's father. And to be honest, even Edward's father is actually not too bad in all fairness. They're actually respectable actors in a sense. They actually try to do the best with the script, you know. Bella's father, I actually generally do like him as an actual actor and as an actual character. You know, he tries his best as a divorced father, even though his daughter's going off with werewolves and vampires, you know, kind of sleeping around as a slut she is. So, in all fairness, that's the only good character in the entire fucking movie and the entire series of movies. Getting on to the main character, well, one of the main characters, Bella. My god, she's just Kirsten Stewart is just fucking terrible actress. She just doesn't give any performance at all. She's just bland face, completely blank. You don't know what emotion she's giving. She just goes, huh, yeah. Just there's nothing to it. It's just terrible. It's literally terrible. Just an emotionless character. And I've seen her in and the actual actress, I've seen her in a few other films, and she's exactly the same there. It's like, oh my god, why are you famous? Why are you in movies? Seriously. She's got a new project at the moment. Can't remember what it's called, but she's probably going to be terrible in that as well. Just awful actress she is. Just pick one and fucking deal with it. Fuck's sake, it's not hard. Oh wait, she does pick one. Oh, but does she? Ooh, it's like, oh fuck, it's just terrible. And the second character, Edward. Well, he's just as bad as Bella, to be honest. He's kind of a blank emotional person in himself. He's just, yeah, I'm a depressed vampire. Yeah, I sparkle. Yeah, it's like I'm a monster. Yeah, I kill people. It's like, no, you're not a vampire. You know, this is a vampire. Edward is probably one of the worst vampires imaginable. I mean, what happened to decent vampire characters? I mean, look at the 80s, Fight Night. You got this like Jeremy character, smooth, charming, but also fucking deadly. You do not want to cross him. And it's the same with the remake as well. Colin Farrell is a badass vampire in that. I mean, what happened to decent vampires? Lead roles anyway. You know, it's like, oh, I can sparkle, or I've killed people, or I don't know what to feel. I love you, I don't love you. It's like, fucking hell, grow a fucking set of balls. Seriously. Oh, it's just that's terrible, terrible. And the rest of the cast are pretty much all teen actors, you know, fresh out of the academy kind of thing, and like, some of them are like, okay, I can see why you're doing this, you've just been in for a little bit of cash, I can see that, and some I've seen in other roles, which are actually, wow, you're actually a pretty decent actress or an actor, you know. It's only surprised me how much they're better in other roles than they are in this fucking stupid franchise. To be honest, the out characters are probably the best thing in this entire movie. Like I said, Bella's dad is probably the best character in this entire movie. I think personally, that's my personal opinion. And I think the characters are just all terrible teen actors. You know, not even good teen actors. Not even like Fight Night. That had a good teen actor. That had well acted. So many different emotions within those characters. I mean, Fight Night, for instance, Neil Dark. You know, you can get good teen actors if you pick the right ones. Now onto the genre. Now these films are based upon a series of like love vampire drama books, which I'm guessing these books are generally better than the script, because let's all face it, the script is just awful. I mean, they have to be better, right? Writer's done a great job in fucking sucking teen girls into this bullshit love fantasy drama. But to be honest, if you're going to do a love story about a boy meets girl or a guy meets girl kind of vampire type story, then do it right. Overall, this is one of the worst vampire films I've ever watched. I mean, it's just terrible. There's nothing good about it. Poor acting, poor script, poor fight scenes. I mean, even the first one had something about it. Had something, you know, there. It may have potential, maybe. You know, that's just been me. That's what I'm generally thinking, being truthful and being honest. I think the first one had maybe something about it. What kind of impression do you want to leave on teen girls, or maybe even teen guys, if you ever watch these movies? I mean, it's just so bad. I mean, they're going to go off thinking, oh, I can do this and this because that movie is basically giving me this kind of influence. I don't want to sound like a fucking overprotected, you know, asshole here, but I mean, it's just unbelievably bad, wrong. I mean, especially that sex scene. That sex scene is fucking horrifying. I mean, what a like under 13-year-old girl is going to think when looking at that scene and looking at how it's going to compare to real life. I personally think that this film has deformed fucking younger audiences into believing a certain way of looking at relationships and looking at films. I mean, this one is just in bad taste. If you have the true vampire movies that actually has decent actors, you know, a bit of romance, bad language, violence, you know, classic 80s, 90s kind of vampire movies, you know, the ones you used to see, you know, before this Twilight bullshit, I'm going to recommend you a load of films right here. Okay. Near Dark. This is the original Twilight. This is what Twilight wishes it fucking was, seriously. I mean, you got a great cast, great soundtrack. You get this great love story between these two characters. The main girl here is, if you can see a picture there, is basically a vampire, and the guy here basically falls in love with her. It is a very good romantic, but again violent, bad mouth, proper vampire movie, and he has to go for a lot of shit just to kind of win her over. It's a one-off movie. There's no endless sequels bullshit. I mean, it's violent as well. 18 certificate right here. This is what vampire movies should be. Seriously, recommend Near Dark right here. Okay, here's another one. I have Fright Night, the original Fright Night. This has a great soundtrack as well. Great cast as teen actors, which to be honest is which you think like, hey, teen actors don't like, but this has a generally good actors. You got the original Evil here. You got Charlie Brewster. You got Amy. You got all these classic characters right here. Here's the vampire. Here's Jeremy the vampire, the original one, and here's our hero of the movie kind of thing. He's a really great character, and he actually tries hard to save his girlfriend kind of thing from this pretty much a really bad fucking vampire, badass vampire right here. Fright Night. The remake Fright Night. Actually a pretty good remake in all fairness. You got David Tennant, Colin Farrell, you got a great cast, again some teen actors, but generally good teen actors. He's from Terminator Salvation, he's from Star Trek, he's generally a good actor. This film kind of retells the story in a different way, but does it in a very, very good way. Even though it's a 15, it's still quite violent for a 15. It is an excellent movie, and it has some generally nasty scenes, some violent scenes, and has some good kind of romantic involvement as well into it. Here's another movie, Let the Right One In. This is a foreign movie, very, very good. You've got some general romance between these two characters here. Again, she's a vampire, he's an ordinary human, of course, and they kind of become friends, and like there is a bit of a romantic involvement in there. Of course, he has to kind of like stay with her and be with her and all that. And it has a generally some good twists in it. It is of course violent. You can see a fucking guy getting hanged there. Here's a 15 certificate. If you can see there, let me in. Excellent vampire movie right here. What about the American remake? Kind of a different telling, a bit more faster paced. Again, she's a vampire, he's a human. They become friends, they fall in love, similar type of storyline. Take a look at the back. It is violent. There is blood. There is more blood. There is screaming. There is a guy with a gun. This is a good vampire movie that doesn't bore with fucking pregnancy and fucking doing, I kill people, this, and this, and this. About another film, 30 Days and Nights, a generally good vampire movie. True, another 18 certificate vampire movie. These two are completely human, and they are in a bad situation. Bad vampires come into town, basically wreck the place, starting killing people, ripping people's heads off and shit. And they have to basically try and survive. It's a fucking survival vampire movie, and he has to do some pretty nasty shit just to try and save it. And that's a good twist at the end. I'm not going to say what the twist is because you're probably going to go and watch it maybe. This is an excellent movie, great vampire movie. Well, another one, The Lost Boys, classic 80s movie. Got a great cast, great soundtrack again, and you got some romantic.
Enough, I get the point.
7 vampire movies, good vampire movies that I own in my collection and are actually very good. They tell a story, it has great soundtrack, it has great acting, it is violent. But all these pretty much are 15s or 18 certificates, or they should be, not 12s, not PG bullshits or anything like that. It doesn't dwell on, I sparkle, I kill people. Sure, there can be drama within vampire movies. These have drama, but they do it in such a good way, not drag it on for fucking 5 or 6 movies. 7 vampire movies right here. I recommend you go and check them out. Then Twilight. Okay, so my previous attempts to kill Edward proved unsuccessful due to his diamond-studded sparkly body. So I'm calling in a specialist. Speed dial 1. Hello. That's right. Target is Edward. You know what to do.
Tired? Do you want to go for a swim?
God bless you, Superman. You've done the world justice. I think Edward being vaporized by a nuclear weapon has done the job quite well. Anyway, this has been the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 with you. I hope you enjoyed watching. Now, I've been curious to think, this movie is so unbelievably bad, what could be possibly worse than Twilight?